So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be here as part of the greater Manatech Australasia team. I work with Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp, and we've been doing this for many, many years, probably around 17, in bringing some of the globe's best trainers and educators in this area of knowledge in business, in personal development, in health and wellness, in scientific advancements. And I think while it's a labor of love, obviously, I think we benefit more than everybody else. I'll just have to say that for myself. And today we are celebrating everything our recent national convention. So for those, I also want to acknowledge that we may have brand new people joining us today and or listening to this recording down the track. A big warm welcome to you. I've been with Manatech for more than 20 years, and you'll see that this is possibly quite casual. I'm not sure what you're expecting if you're new to us, but this is a Manatech family, and we work together for ourselves, obviously, in our own business and in our own wellness journey, but also for each and every one of us. So, you know, the more everyone thrives, the better we all are. So that's what we're about. So Manatech, there isn't anything that you can't say that's good about Manatech. Manatech is probably, and sadly, our premier product and probably flagship is nutritional glycans and a range of product based on a emerging area of science. Now, I'm a former ICU nurse, in multiple areas of critical care. And one of the things I've learned, first the hard way through my own health challenge. One of the things first to my own personal experience in that I had a health wake up and I thought, and my nursing knowledge didn't help me. And when I was introduced to wellness technology that Manatech had, I completely rejected it. And I don't really feel shame about that, but it was a real lesson that opened my mind and made me realize that I can't reject things without reviewing. That's, you know, and I guess in the end, when I did look at it, they said, listen, education can't hurt you. And I consider myself an intelligent woman, maybe not cream of the crop or Menzies level intelligence, but, you know, I like an academic pursuit. And I like researching and understanding things. And I have a questioning mind. So I researched and then I realized, gee, you know, like if I didn't know, I was very sick at the time, unable to work. And I thought, if this isn't the solution to my health challenge, these nutrients had to be the foundation. It had to be part of my way forward. And I've never looked back. I had a significant recovery from being on a sickness pension all the way through to being fully functional. I've gone on to be slightly having dual loyalties because I'm helping a very disadvantaged community in Australia. But Manatech is my first love and always will be. So that's what we're all about. Every year, our corporate office, who work to empower each and every one of us, you can just wait, Sue, it's okay. Empower each and every one of us to be the best we can in our business. So, you know, if you're listening to this as a new person, you may be here because you want a new mission in life. You're really interested in our M5M Foundation and want to be part of something that's social, entrepreneurial, and is giving back to the world. Or you may need some just extra spending money. Or you may be already proactive about your health and you can understand that these nutrients are progressive and advanced. Or you may had tipped over the edge of the cliff like I had and possibly have a health challenge that is significantly troubling you and you want to use integrative medicine and nutrition, cellular, really powerful, potent, science-based cellular nutrient to support that. Whatever your mission, please know that Manatech Corporate is here to support us. And they annually typically put on a national convention, we call it. And that's where we all come together, typically in person. But sadly, this year, well, sadly, but also, you know, obviously it is sad. You know, we get to hang out with our family, our Manatech family, and I've known many people for over 20 years in this company, and it's every year we get to connect and you know, share like minds and thoughts and advancements and be the best we can be. This year we did it virtually, and I just want to acknowledge the Manatech corporate team because it just is no mean feat. So first we got COVID, and with unexpected lockdowns at every turn. And it was a last minute decision to have to go virtual, fairly last minute, even though everybody's kind of tentative about what governments will do next. And then in addition, you may not know, but our head office is in Dallas, Texas, or around Dallas in Texas in the US. And you may or may not know that they had a deep freeze there. Like, so Texas is hot. And they do have a winter, but they had a winter, I think, I'm not sure I saw 30 years or 80 years, the worst in that length of time. And so three of our main speakers from the US corporate office who wanted to be here with us live either didn't have power or didn't have technology, and even we had to use previous recordings of them. So I know that would have been heartbreaking for the corporate team, but we still had a great time and we still had amazing experiences. And so that's what today is all about. It's about celebrating everything we learned. And also, we also aware that, some people, for whatever reason, even though it was virtual, couldn't attend live. And so we're here to do our best to make sure we bring everybody along with the experience. So I'd like all of our speakers to come back on camera, please, including Diana, and we can go from there. So update on Trisha. Is it a fatal challenge with Zoom?
I don't know. She asked me to resend her the link. And
okay, so we'll just wait. Oh, there she is. Good work, Trisha. That's perseverance. Okay, so she's coming in. So, and does Marika or Trisha or Sue, do either of you have a preference of order? What would you like to? No, Marika, let's start with you. So, Marika, big warm welcome. I know you're one of our newer partners in Mantech Australasia, and I get blessed to work with you in our personal teamwork, and we're very lucky to have you and your passion and dedication to our company. Tell us about what you chose to highlight out of the speakers for the recent 2021 National Convention.
Good morning, Sharon. Thanks for the opportunity to speak on this amazing platform. I chose David Jones, I think it's David Jones, because he was talking about what is right with the world. And I personally is also sometimes struggling with when something is bad happening to us, we always look like, oh, but something is bad, all the things is wrong, and all around us is everything wrong. And he just put me back to perspective where we are, when we are focusing on what's good in the world, we will see so many different opportunities. Yes, we can all change the obstacles in our lives to possibilities. So yes, he was just talking to me when I needed it the most. And like I said, I love joining this. All of this, the virtual was awesome because I couldn't go to your side because I'm in Western Australia, and it was like we have all connected as a family with like-minded people. That was just amazing. Oh, and also the dress up. I just love dressing up, and that all of the teams was working together. James and Naomi's team and Kaina's team, that they came together and they did it together. They did everything together, dressed up together, and that was so amazing. So yes, I can't wait for next year when we can all come together.
That's great, Marika. Now, I think we should add a little bit more about him. So he was a National Geographic photographer, wasn't he? And he was hired to go around the world filming people, like real lives of individual people. I know I was really impacted. And one of the things that I was impacted by his presentation was the change in his perception. So it'll be hard to describe this, but he showed images of say he was photographing waves, and he showed one image, and then you would have thought that's the perfect image, and then he waited another 30 seconds and there's another one, and that was even better. And everything he looked at in life, even though at first maybe if his images of a person, or he was going to been assigned to go take particular project, and it at first glance didn't seem like it was going to work out, or he didn't catch what he wanted of an animal or something in nature, if he just waited that little bit longer, he got something further and more. And he used that in a very powerful way to be able to use that as a frame for all of our life, and I guess in a way it's a type of reframing. You guys might have more eloquent explanation where you can, one of the things that really impacted me was he went to, now where was this lady? And quite an elderly lady. She looks like she was about 80ish. And he went, and it was in Europe somewhere. Does anybody know where she was? Diana might remember. She's my memory. And anyway, but she was like she's like a Ukrainian grandma, if you imagine that, in a skirt and dressed up and slightly dressed in warm clothes and in quite a modest sort of cabin cottage type place. There was a open fire, and he knocked on the door, and she goes, "Oh, my brother is dying in the other room. I'm, being present through my brother's death." And the photographer goes, "Oh," and then he completely withdrew and said, "I won't interrupt on something like that." And then she thought about it, and she says, "No, come in." And he was able, I'm kind of goosebumps. He had the privilege of witnessing this individual's probably one point of time in her life that she was raw enough to let him witness. And he just witnessed, it was sort of like real life and simple things, her making some food, her doing something in the house, something outside. And, it really coached all of us to just be present. Even things could be unexpected, things could be not like what it seems. People, on first glance, it might be a disappointment. If you stay present and go beyond that, there's sort of glory in it, really. So I was really impacted by him as well. Marika, you did an excellent job. I don't know if anybody one of the things that the other reasons that we do this together as a team for our whole community is that different people's perceptions and experiences of different speakers or different processes will remind someone and bring it back home for someone else in a way. Anybody else want to add anything to David's thing? No?
The one that impacted me is the one you just described, that woman. That was amazing.
Yeah. The humility and the rawness, wasn't it? It was just, people are amazing. So Marika, thank you. We'll have another time to go around a little bit later to see if there's any other highlights. So just jot them down if you have any other highlights that are coming through.
Thank you.
And Sue, you've put your hand up. Thank you so very much for being part of our panel today.
Okay. Look, I just first want to say, everyone that spoke, all the associates that spoke, the guests, everyone did a great job. And it was challenging, having been a speaker, it was I'd much rather just stand on stage and talk. But so it was challenging for everyone, but there were some great jobs. I've decided I'll go first for the one that I may not get teary about, or I won't get teary about, because I'm covering Keith Abraham and Turia. And I was just telling a friend yesterday about her. I started crying again. But anyway, Keith Abrahams did, his topic was clarifying your goals for 2021. And in the workbook, I'll just flip up, there was lots of pages for us to write in. And I think he had 45 minutes, and it could have been a day workshop easily, don't you think, Sharon? I mean, it was really, Sharon and I both worked in educational seminars, and there was a lot of impact, a lot of stuff there. But just quickly, he talked about the 6 emotions of achievement, and he said that we go through them all at different stages. So they are the loss, the frustrated, the confused, the unclear, the unsatisfied, and the certain. And he had us put where we were. And I had a bit of a dilemma for a couple, but so, and then he went through what you have to do. Like if you're lost, you make a decision, obviously. So he went through the opposite. If you're feeling unclear, how do you get clear and get clarity? And and then this one I haven't completed. I have set some time aside this afternoon. There was the 20 goals for the next 12 weeks. And we had about 2 minutes to do that. your key goals for the next 12 months broken down into professional, personal, physical, and profitable. And then he had on the why, this much data, and it was really digging deep into your why. And he just says, when the why becomes clear, the how becomes easy. And if you've been in this company for more than a year, probably, or whatever, we've all heard the why, get clear on your why, get clear on your why. I'll tell you what, doing this exercise, it's really digging deep, gaining clarity, and then the 8 goal drivers, just a little bit of information there. So for those of you that were there, the goal driver blueprints, it's a lot of stuff to get through. He spoke at, was it AIM or was it the business development, BDM last year? He's spoken somewhere last year anyway. And I know there was equally as much stuff, and I didn't go back and complete it. And I determined this time I will, because I think the clarity that we can get moving forward is really, really good in doing it. If you haven't got the workbook, I'm not sure how to. He's got his website. His name's Keith Abraham. I don't know. You can just Google him and you'll find a website. But he has a lot. He said that he has a lot of information on there. So if you're unclear on your why, your goals for this year, etc., it might be good to go onto his website if you weren't there last week. Yeah, that's pretty much him. Now, to repeat.
I'll just jump in there, Sue, for a sec. And again, because I've been made aware that there's some guests being invited to this live and also to the recording. So if this is a business where you're in business by yourself, but for yourself, but not by yourself. So as you can hear, I don't know, as a nurse, or, if we could all see each other, we'd probably be nodding our heads. There's hardly any careers or businesses that you're in where you've got a team working for your success. And, in nursing, I'd get medical training, obviously, but nothing about personal development or being part of a team or team development or anything. And this is what we get presented, basically. It was not free, but basically it's free. It was like a pittance, really, that we invested ourselves. So our company, Manatech Corporate, and especially led by Jenny Messenger, they invest in us and us being the best we can be. And we just have to fully participate. So Sue, those are all really great points. And he was awesome, isn't he? He's just he's a pro. And now you might want to get out your tissues for church.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. I just want to know, for all of you that were at the conference, did anyone have a dry eye all the way through that? Oh, my goodness. Diana and I discussed it on Monday. We have a weekly meeting, and we were both saying we were so deeply impacted by her. In a really, amazing way. I mean, I was just like tissue after tissue. I think it was her. She was so authentic and so real. I connected, and we would have all had our own experiences and connections because she came from such adversity. Sharon, do you think there'd be anyone on here that wouldn't know who Turia Pitt is?
Possibly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She was running a marathon, I believe, through the Kimberleys with a whole bunch of runners, and a bushfire came ripping through, and she suffered, was it 56% of burn?
65.
Pardon?
65, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay. Burns to her entire body, so she's had a huge comeback, and like it was her entire body was just amazing woman, and the courage to come back to where she now has 2 little boys. Sorry, this part really got me emotional too. Her partner, the guy that stood by her, helped her start to walk again. I mean, she had physios, obviously, but he was there making sure she did what she had to do every day. And, such a wonderful man that loves her so much. And she's pretty lovable. Okay. So there were so many highlights that she shared. And I think for me, the impact just was, I went through a big journey with cancer 5 years ago. And, I was thinking about being in ICU for 5 days and physios getting you up, and you don't want to get out of bed. And anyone that's been through anything like that will relate. but hers was 100 million more times. And she, apparently when the physios first got her out of bed and told her to put her feet on the floor, the pain was excruciating. She was just screaming with pain. And so she talked a lot about just taking one step and another step and learn to take the next step. Consistent, she was consistent, kept showing up. And she put it back to life then. What is one step that you can take in your business or in your life to move you on to where you want to go? She had, obviously, when you've got a huge rehabilitation time like she did, you've got to get your mind right. And she, she had some wonderful stuff. I did a Facebook Live this week about the one that really resonated with me was reframing. And so reframing negative into a positive or a supportive thought. So she gave the example she's had, again, Sharon, you'll probably get this one. Is it 150 something operations since this happened?
Yeah, it
was
lost 7 fingers. It took her, didn't take her 9 months of physio to, first it was just that step that you're talking about, but her goal was to go a flight of stairs. It took her something like 9 months to go up these stairs in the rehab hospital. It's just astounding.
Oh, it was. And she talked about too, the first day she did 1 step. Her goal was to increase a step every day. But when she did 2, the next day she was going to do 3, obviously, but she couldn't get to 3. And she said that sometimes we don't move as fast as we want to. There's just so many things you could apply to your life out all the way through this. So anyway, every time she has to have an operation, because she is back moving and doing stuff now, it's like, oh, this is more downtime. She had all that going on in her head. So she said she reframed that to it. Well, I get more time to hang out with my kids. I can read books. I can, do all the stuff that you do when you can't go. So she talked a lot about the reframing. And I've been all week I've been thinking about the reframing. The next one, it was if you can't reframe something and there's so much negative happening, you go, okay, today's crap, but tomorrow will be better. And I just thought that was beautiful because some days are just horrible. We all have horrible days and different ways. For me, spending 4 hours at a Telstra shop the other day. And I won't bore you with the story, but I was trying to reframe because I heard words and I went, no, I'll just go, today's crap, tomorrow's going to be better. Okay. And then another one that she uses, which I loved, is focus on from have to. So if you feel like you have to do something, you get to. So she was giving examples about, like, I don't know, if you're a parent, you might have to do their laundry or something, and rather than going, but have to do the laundry today, so I get to do that laundry for these wonderful little people, or, just simple little things like that. And I love that. I get to. A goal without a plan is just a dream. We've all heard that many, many times. And the other thing she said she's learned to really practice along the way is gratitude. Because you think about it, she could really go into poor me, why me, all of that stuff so easily. But to look for what you can be grateful for in a situation, like, is always, if I'm feeling fearful, I start looking at what I'm grateful for, and it really pulls you out of it very quickly. And the last thing I'm going to share, thank you, Diana. Diana put this on Facebook yesterday. It was one of her quotes, and it is, love your unique, wear it like a boss. Isn't that beautiful? Have you got a photo easily, Diana, that you can hold up? Or
no, because I created it in Canva.
Okay.
I'd have to share screen. Have a look at my Facebook profile.
Yeah. I was just going to say,
it's in my Facebook story too.
Yeah, but Diana's Facebook, it's a beautiful, beautiful image, Diana. And I showed it to someone when I was getting coffee this morning, and she got all choked up just looking at your image. So I just repeat it, love your unique, wear it like a boss. And that's me. Thank you.
And does anybody, I have something I can add about Terry. What about Diana? Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, sure. I love Taria. So you've done a fantastic covering of her impact and the gems of what she shared. The only thing I'd add was it took me days to kind of integrate the impact that she had. It was, for me, it was beyond her words. There were so many gems and impactful words, but there was something deeper than the words. Seeing, you know, the rawness of her sharing her message of, you know, where she'd been, and she's a survivor of deep trauma, basically. It's just so powerful. The other thing, in addition, at the end, they did a Q&A, and I did ask, you know, when she sets a goal, does she, you know, how does she go about then achieving that? And of course, she said she chunks it down. But the gem for me was, you know, as Sue said, she talks about breaking things into small achievable steps. But she said, if you get a step and that step feels overwhelming, then chunk it down even further. And I thought that was a real gem, because sometimes, you know, we're approaching our goals, but the next step does just feel like too much. And so how can we break that down to even a smaller pieces so we can take that first step? Because and I think, because it's easy to say just take the first step, but if you know it's a, you know, you can break it down even further. I think that's a gem.
And I had a similar experience to Diana, in that I couldn't put words to my experience, you know, like I was sort of ruminating on it, and we talked about it on our team call on Wednesday, which was, you know, a full 3-4 days later. And I have been, you know, I've experienced in the last 10-20 years, I've experienced a lot of loss in my life, and I've been in a period of focusing on that. And so I was just being gentle with myself and go, you know, grieving comes in waves, and I was grieving, and I don't know how to describe it, but just sitting there, it was so deeply validating of what I've been going through. And also, you know, knowing that I didn't have to push myself anywhere different than what I've been experiencing, but also knowing that it won't last forever. That, you know, like, and, you know, that's my intention anyway. I know, you know, things move through and they don't last forever, but it felt like a cellular experience of that, in just being present with her. It was just awesome. She was amazing. So if you get, you know, I wish I could watch that again and again, but I know they have corporate agreements and stuff like that. And, you know, I respect her livelihood. She's gone on to recreate herself about 1,000 times. She just has a hand in so many awesome things. So yes, I highly, same as what these ladies have said, I highly recommend following her.
I'd also add, if I can, Sharon,
sure.
She offered, if you go on her website, you can download, what's it called, Sue? How to manage a bad day, or dealing with a bad day, something like that. And all you have to do is give your email and name. But I'd highly recommend it. I downloaded it and I took some time to read it. And she has really put heart and soul and her experience into her recommendations there, and even a flow chart. She said she's a systems person, her background's an engineer. Even a flow chart in how to manage a bad day, and go to this page, and these are the things you can do, and it's really excellent. So I would highly recommend going to her website, which I don't have. Maybe someone can look it up.
It's in the chat, Diana. Someone.
Oh, is it? Okay, great. And getting access to that PDF, it's really excellent.
Yeah, it's called Having a Bad Day. I just have a little.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll have to start a Turia Pitt fan club. It's just amazing. She's just so humble and raw and real. It was amazing. So thank you, ladies. And then we'll move to Trisha, who gets to focus on Diana and Sue. We've got to check your sound, Trisha. I think you might be muted.
Yeah, she's muted.
Right.
There you go.
I've had some, it's been hard work this morning. I was going to sit outside because we're coming into autumn, and it's absolutely glorious here this morning. Really, really is. So I was going to sit outside, but yeah, nothing worked. So I'm back inside.
Oh, I love your throne, by the way.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's
I
Queen Trisha.
Years ago. I'd like to iterate that I really struggled for words when listening. I could have watched Turia all day. I just sat there totally engrossed, and I kept asking myself, what's your excuse, Trisha? Basically, I couldn't think of anything else. I was just so amazed by her strength and tears, and I'm still doing it now. But I did really, and I guess we all pick up what resonates with ourselves because it's what we needed at the time. And I picked up on both Sue and Diana, because that's where I'm having to work really hard at the moment, is communication. And so, yeah, I value this opportunity as well to have another go. I'm giving a PowerPoint presentation on Monday night to my colleagues, so we're getting there. Now I can't read because I'm crying over Churia. Oh, and congratulations to all those who the achievers, Poppy and I can't remember, Vincent.
Yeah, no, we'll do that next. We'll do it formally because I've got the proper list because I knew I wouldn't remember on the spot.
And so what I got from Sue was to encourage, she encourages us to recognise our strengths and use them. So whatever strengths you bring from another industry or wherever you've been, capitalise on them. But also to recognise your weaknesses and work on them. And that's been the last 12 months is where I've been, is working on some of those. And a lot of it is communication. I was a shy athlete at school. I was happy to run on the track, but once I got off the track, don't come near me. And I was a bum up, head down worker. Communication. So it's been a huge learning curve this 12 months. So yes, Sue encouraged us to pick up on those strengths, and some of those were, like I said, I'm really struggling now.
It's all right. We're all real people here.
Oh yeah, and there's some ideas, some examples of bringing strengths from somewhere else. So even if you're a home mum, you have organisational skills and you have multitasking abilities. If you're from like myself, from a lab technician in IT, the computer I don't have any trouble with. So yeah, we work on those and then help others to do the same. Like if any of my friends have trouble with the computer, I can help them out. Encourage us to look at our strengths. This is still my notes from Saturday, so I'm writing really fast and untidy. Don't take myself seriously. Sue outlined the skills required for network marketing and once again encouraged us to look at ourselves and rate ourselves, which I've been working on this week. And then finding people, that's always been hard. If you don't talk to people, you're not going to find them. So now I've had to learn to talk, and that comes up in Diana's. Yeah. Getting them started, know the comp plan. If you don't know it, spend some time. Helping those who want this business, build up, believe, become a better me. And not, yes, I've had to work really hard at that. And that doesn't mean you're not a good person. It just means you've got to pick up on what's needed now. What are your skills? Which ones do you need? Devote a certain time every week. Yep. And then most important is to practice. So yeah, for the last 2 hours, I've been talking to myself in front of the camera. Our children. Oh, that's our children. I've got a 2-year-old grandson, and if you watch him, he doesn't quit just because he didn't get up that first time. He's the son of a chiropractor. Catherine, he got no aids, nothing, no walking frames. And I watched him with absolute curiosity. He never gave up. The first time he tried to, he was rolling, and I've been lucky enough to have lots of time to spend. He didn't quit that first time when he didn't roll over. And then I watched him learn to crawl, and he wobbled and he rocked, and to walk, he had to take those steps all by himself without any aids, because that's what she believed he should do, and he did it. What was the other one that I had here? On athletes, practice. Practice makes perfect. You keep doing it, so why don't we keep doing it? And that was what Sue brought up. And her wish for us all was value from the contribution, and urged us to take action, increase your income, and create a business and life you love. That's me. That's what I'll get. And Diana went on also to emphasise practice. I had to write really fast to achieve effective communication. So keep practicing. Personal confidence. Confidence and posture rises from knowledge. And that's, yeah, if you know something really well, then you're going to be confident in sharing it. I got that loud and clear. There were lots of little things in between. Product knowledge, yeah. So whatever it is, product knowledge or learning to talk. Once you knew how to do that, then the confidence. Ask questions and actively listen. Yes, and become a listener. And my children will tell you that. Yeah, I tend to jump in before they're finished. So I have really learnt to, and not even, I don't even add to my story to it now. I literally listen to the end, but I've had to really consciously go, no, she doesn't want to know about yours. She just wants to, or who are you talking to? You've asked the question, let them tell it. So I really consciously have to not jump in. Ask questions and actively listen. Good at telling my story. I'm still not good at that sentence. Any training I do, so the minute they ask me to tell my story, I go cold. It's like, what story? What do you want to know? Be authentic, keep it brief. Oh, that was a story. Problem, bridge and results, yeah. And then this was interesting. Avoid the jargon. Yeah. Sorry, my nose is still running and all sorts. Potential client rather than a prospect, and I got that. Yeah. Downline. Oh yes, yeah. I've just listed the ones not to use. Downline and upline, and I picked up. I was listening so loud and clear. Just everything Diana said, I thought, yes, that's form. I've been working on that really hard, listening to Judy's as well. And so that when that came up again, it was like what's the word? Reassuring. It was just like, here it is again. I know. So take it on board. And this I found interesting too. It was the buffers. Ways of showing that we're not pushing you into anything. And examples I've got. What else? On the easy exits, I thought they were good too. I'm going to write those in capital letters somewhere. And permission, deepening the conversation. Can you tell me more about it? Love it. Most people I've heard before, I've got all of Al Schreider's, Big Al's books, and his conversations. A lot of it is most people want to be healthy. Most people need more money. My experience is that most people. Great. I can't wait to have a go at these. As humans. Oh yeah, and then this. I can't remember now if I got this from Diana or most humans decide to do what most people are doing. So and then qualifying. Sally, you mentioned blah blah. Can we go back there and Joan, you mentioned about your husband. Can we? Yeah. This was setting the sail with a long time view. I only wrote the heading, but I liked it. Because that's where I'm going wrong. They might buy it once, but I'm not getting them to get it for 3 months or longer. So this was, and her ideas. It could take a while to notice the difference. 90-day money. Well, I know that one. Cost efficient. Yep. Shall we go ahead? Just jump in. Shall we? Why not?
That's the question.
And I thank you.
Well done, Tricia.
And I thank you for it's like to have a go. For the
No, absolutely well done. Thank you. And I think, again, thinking of the people who might be brand new to us, you might not have understood some of that, but the good news is what that was all about training, about being the best communicators we can. And that sometimes, I can put my hand up to be guilty for this. And if you're new to joining us today, you might have felt pressured or expectations from somebody when they're sharing something they're excited about. And that's a training issue. And that's, Sue and Diana did a lot of brilliant training. And the good news is that we're having Diana back in about a month and we'll expand on that. So it'll give us another opportunity to learn. She's probably one of the best educators in this area of
Absolutely.
having effective and respectful conversations. And some of us do it, some of us are learning it, and Dana's a brilliant trainer in how to do it. So she breaks it down and makes it easy for those of us. So, and I know Tricia, you'll be happy to be able to fine tune, keep practicing, and then fine tune your skills again.
Absolutely, I can't wait to hear more from Diana. And I think we've all got, well, I know that I'm not disrespectful to people, but it's just those fine tuning it to, so that I'm not asking them to do it, they're asking me.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we're what we do is we're not selling, we're offering people solutions to problems they have. And we need to give them enough education and find out enough about what's important for them in order to make them they can make a fully informed decision that they feel that they own. And we're just the guide. And sometimes it's not the right timing or not the right solution for them, and that's fine. So well done, Tricia. There's a few more things that we want to cover. I'd like to cover, and you know, I don't know, people might want to jump in on this one, but the other thing about National Convention and about our corporate team is that we're really loved and well looked after. So it all starts with a surprise box in the mail full of goodies, which normally, again, in a non-virtual experience, we all get all kinds of surprises through our conference weekend. But this year it gets wrapped and sent, and it's full of, you know, free product. It's great value, and also some surprises, some fun things. And I'd like to acknowledge Jenny, Sarah, and Olivia, who are mostly the front line, but the whole admin team with Jason and Sindhu behind the scenes. I know the whole corporate team worked really hard to make this as successful as it was. And Jenny emceed it, for those of you that didn't have the opportunity to attend. So Jenny is the executive director, so the leader of Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. And she did a brilliant job of that. And they also, who had fun on some of the trivia and the fun things they did.
I couldn't believe how into answering the questions I was.
Unless you happen to be Marika's age, who what is it? Oliver Twist. I don't think Marika had even heard of it. But us that are much older are like, yeah, Oliver Twist, of course.
A few of us had some age advantage in some of those questions. It's not very often us oldies get age advantage, I can tell you. Anybody else want to add to the fun parts and like there are some teams that were able to get together in their own location, and they were all dressed up. What was that? Was it, I don't know, all I can think was rainbow and diamonds, but diamonds and sparkles, or what was the theme?
Rags to riches.
Rags to riches, and then the other one was sparkle like a diamond or something.
Yeah, shine like a diamond.
Yeah.
And I think it was, what's her name? Is it Sharon Hammond or Shirley Hammond? In James.
Sharon Hammond, yeah.
Yeah, she won she was Cinderella, and she even had a pumpkin. I loved it.
Costume prizes, lots of free prize draws. Like it's a really very full, fun and generous experience.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to focus on is the other thing that we celebrate is we celebrate people's success. So that's not very common out there in the main world. Often people, I don't know, how many people here, if you're not used to our kind of environment where we have a home business in partnership with a corporation, we're celebrated and we get mentored, and we have the opportunity to achieve certain goalposts and get awarded for that. And so I'd just like to take a moment to recognize the people for 2021 that recognized at our conference. So we have something called a Mike Forrest Giving Spirit Award, which means this person is, and I don't have any of the exact definition in front of me, so you'll get the Sharon Whiteman version. You can look up the full one another time. But it's about somebody who's contributed to the whole community for no benefit of their own, no gain, no personal gain, just out of the goodness of their heart. And this year it was Paula, some people know her as Poppy Curry, that won that award. And interestingly, we were able to go live to where they were at in a group scenario, and the surprise on her face was outstanding. The Rising Star of the Year was Jeremy Molly. So congratulations to both of those award winners. Top Executive Director was Vincent Casumo. Top Silver Executive Director. And for those of you, again, that are new listening to this, these are just targets in your business. So if you go out and start, a pizza parlor, you don't have somebody there saying, how about if you aim for this goal by this and we'll recognize you, you'll get some kind of recognition. It's all about yourself, right? So not only do we do need to be self-motivated and have our own goals and drive, but we get supported in that by having goalposts and there's little wins along the way. So that's what these terms and labels are. Top Silver Executive Director was Bronwyn Sheraton Gray and Lizanne Hadding, and they tied, which is fantastic. They both got recognized. Top Gold Executive Director was Poppy, so she's a double award winner. The top enroller of customers in our region was Naomi Joy, what took it out, but the nominees also included Margaret Yule and Poppy Curry again. And the top enroller associate, the winner was Naomi Joy, but the nominees included, again, Poppy Curry and Diane Trustful. And Business Builder of the Year was Naomi Joy, and the nominees included James Hannon and Judy Habit. So anybody listed in those, including, we all deserve recognition and we all know, what we've done in our businesses and in our communities. But a huge round of congratulations for all those people. And we respect and admire your contribution to our community. So thank you so very much. So
Sharon, can I add something?
Yes, please.
Just a couple of things. As it so happened, I recorded my presentation on my Zoom. So I've got a copy of it. I'd be happy to give it to you, Sharon. You can upload it to the Saturday morning section if you like. And if somebody wants to watch that or be reminded of the detail, you can watch it. The other thing that I would recommend, and Tricia mentioned it there, is Big Al Schreider, who's a network marketing master and trainer, spoke at I think it was our 2012 conference. He did 2 one-hour workshops, and those are recorded and they're available, and I'd highly recommend them because they're absolutely hilarious. And yet he delivers these gems of languaging and conversation skill that, the most people is in there, but many others. So, and you get it because I'm not a humor, action's not my thing, but he's the master at it. And it does deliver the message so well. And you'll see there's workshopping of his training within the presentation.
Oh, yeah, I'll have a look.
Thank you,
So where would that be? Oh, I did find it. Let me see if I can find it while you're finishing off.
Well, I'll put it with the recording up onto YouTube of today's Saturday morning call.
Yeah.
In the notes, I'll put the links to the recordings that are mentioned here because Diana will remind me.
Lovely.
So let's go around and just say our highlights, anything we've missed. I know there are some speakers that we didn't cover, Poppy, James, Naomi, but they're coming on future calls themselves, so you won't miss out on that. But let's go around and just finish with anything you'd like to say to complete today. Marika, we'll just go in the same order.
I just wanted to say I have made all the notes that I wanted to speak up, but the nerve system, I don't know. But one thing that was very stuck with me of David Jones was have passion in life, be energized, focus on what is right and not wrong. I just wanted to say that, and that's all. And thanks for let me that I can talk on this platform. And like Tricia, I must also try to learn the communication.
Oh, well, I only speak one language, so you're doing pretty amazing at speaking English. And
Thank you.
if there's anybody that epitomizes passion and enthusiasm, it's you, Marika. Absolutely, you're an inspiration. So
Yeah, too right.
This is a new thing to do, being talking to people. I've just been doing it for 23 years. So, it's like everything we've spoken about. It's just skill development, and it's one step at a time. So you've done a great job, and welcome to Manatech, Australasia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Sue.
Okay, I'll just quickly add in there, Diane, like Diana, I have a recording of my talk. And on that note, because I wanted to, when you were acknowledging corporate, Olivia, like you acknowledged her, but I just want to say to everybody watching this, Olivia does so much, and she's not that in front, whatever. And I know my talk was the second last day, so it was late, and it was a Sunday because there's a massive renovation going on next to our house, and I couldn't get enough quiet time through the week. So I'm recording it. And Olivia said, if you need anything, I'm just working from home. I've got a lot to do. Anyway, we went backwards and forwards. And then when she tried to send me my recording, couldn't get it. So we went through the cloud and I got it out of their stuff. And I just went back and said in an email, thank you, Olivia. I really appreciate you. And apparently she got really emotional when she read that, because she said she was just feeling so stressed to try and get everything done for the conference and so not appreciated. So I just wanted to ask everybody, when you're dealing with these guys, they do so much. They really do so much. And I think we can all just say, I appreciate you, a lot more, because she said it meant so much to her and felt like saved her days. Yeah.
Yeah, even corporate's human.
Pardon?
I said even corporate staff are human.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Need our love and gratitude.
Yeah. It's really great.
Joke, but yeah.
But yeah, I was sad that we couldn't all give each other a hug this year, because that's who I am. I mean, I'm a people person, as those of you that know me know. But Sharon and I both worked in events. To pull that off virtually, was amazing, and with all the challenges. And I think everyone that spoke, like, I loved listening to Naomi. I've heard Naomi's story so many times, but I think every time she tells it, there's a bit deeper. I don't know. It was very beautiful. And I also want to acknowledge James Hannon. I mean, James Hannon has recruited Naomi, and she won all those awards. And then she's recruited Poppy. Ty Tribble won do they call it Associate of the Year in America? But anyway, Ty Tribble's also in James' team, and he won the American version of what Naomi won here. So he's a good leader. So thank you, James.
Fantastic. I completely agree, Sue. Thank you. Trisha, did you want to say anything in completion?
I missed the meaty bit on Friday. So I had to, no, I didn't have to. I volunteered to work Friday afternoon, forgetting that it started Friday. So I've really missed all that. The heavy stuff, I guess. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was totally on my own. We were supposed to go to a beach house, and someone got sick, and so we all ended up staying home. But sometimes for me, the concentration of being on my own was better anyway. If someone chats to me and I'm listening to something, then but I enjoyed the whole day.
Thoroughly, yeah.
And I would highly recommend anyone. I have to say, the reason I think I resonated with the likes of Sue and Diana and James even is the lack, they weren't flamboyant about it. Sometimes it can, especially if I've had got someone new with me, they've looked at me sideways and gone, what on earth is he on? Or whatever, This was just so down to earth. It was just so easy to take in the information, and I wished I had a house full, but that's how it was. And next year it won't be. Next year I'll have a house full of my own.
Well done, Trisha. Thank you so much for putting your hand up to be here. And Diana, did you want to say anything in completion?
I think I'll finish with the call to action on Turia's mode, which is take a small step, take a step. It was, rich in its content and education, but how do we put that into action? Get out there, reach out to people, open some conversations, and share the message of Manatech. There was a story within the National Geographic photographer that hit me very, very deeply, and I'm going to have to concertina it, but basically he was on a photo shoot for these men that do these weight throwing. I think it's called hammer throwing. He saw a judge there and he was attracted to that judge. He asked to go and visit him. And this judge was an old farmer. He'd been the champion for many years, and he got his shot, and it ended up advertising whiskey in a magazine. That magazine went global, and all of his relatives saw him in the magazine and contacted him. And long story short, they had a family reunion in, I think it was in Scotland, and there's a picture of all the family there reunited. You never know the processional effect, it's a Buckminster Fuller, of taking an action that, you know, reaching out to somebody because you feel to. You never know how that's going to affect their lives or the people around them. So take a small step, reach out, share the message of Manatech. Yeah.
Thanks, Dana. So there's no better way to finish our time today than on that note. So thank you again to all our speakers who bravely put their hands up for today. And thank you to everybody who are here live or later down the track. We appreciate you. And next week we have the wonderful Jenny Messenger. So that's going to be very business focused as well, talking about our upcoming, well, this thing we didn't touch on. We have this ability to, one of the benefits of doing well in your goals is to be able to earn travel incentives, and our next travel incentive is to New Zealand, which is very exciting. So we're going to learn all about that and some steps you can take just for earning your income and increasing your income and helping people. You can travel the world. I think I've been on 7 or 8, no, probably more than that, including all the US trips, but you know, it's a business where you can travel if that's something that's important to you. Well, and you have to get creative these days to do that. So anyway, I won't make any promises there, but the intent is there. The intent is world to be resume normalcy. So have a great Saturday, everybody. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye, everyone.